Hey everyone, back again with another build. And actually, I'll address this first just in case people have seen this other video. But Cash, which is a really amazing YouTuber, go and check them out. They did a build of a Western style town. And I was actually on holiday at the time when it was released, and I actually started this build while I was on holiday, and I didn't really have internet while I was there, and so I started it then. But when I came back, I was doing sort of the finishing touches. I just finished it all after like a long day at work, and then I went to go and relax and watch a couple of videos before I went to sleep, and lo and behold, her video came up, and it was pretty much just, well, obviously it's different, but the theme was the same as mine, and it was to do a Western town. And in the community, it seems like if you do something which is vaguely similar to anyone else, it's like, oh, you're copying. But this wasn't the case this time. I didn't copy her, but what I'm gonna do anyway, because it is a really awesome build, and I think you guys should go and check it out. Her interior is amazing. I remember I was really tired when I was doing my interior, and it's nothing in comparison. Hers is really great. So I'll leave a link in the description below to her channel and also her videos so that you can check it out if you want to. But yeah, so this is the Western build that I've got. It's going to be in 2 parts actually, which I didn't want it to be, but I hadn't realised how long it actually took me to do this. And I was editing it just now, and it was getting over the 30-minute mark, and I was like, no, I really need to cut this in 2. So I stopped it where I sort of started the interior. There's a little bit at the end where I do some exterior stuff, like some landscaping, and that will be in the other video, but it's only a small amount, and it's kind of along the same theme of what I've been doing in this video anyway, but you'll see that towards the end of this video. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like the screenshots and all of that kind of stuff in the next video too. But so I looked up quite a bit of inspiration. I don't know whether, like, sometimes in like I've seen in European countries, they've either renovated old buildings or done like replicas of old buildings of how things used to be. Don't know if that exists in sort of Western towns, or whether architecture like this still exists and people still live in all of that kind of stuff in towns which look like this. I don't know, because I've only ever been to America once, and that was to New York, so I wouldn't have been able to see properly what it's like. So I had to guess and go from films I've seen and pictures I saw on the internet and my own imagination of what it would be like. So it might not be completely accurate, but I want to talk about, I'm going to be starting a new Let's Play, I think. And the last one kind of went badly because I didn't want to do it anymore because I felt like I was doing a really bad job of it. That was all it really was. And then so much time passed that it felt silly carrying on doing it when there was such a big gap in between episodes. But I want to try again. Okay, I just got interrupted by my dog. She was outside my door whimpering again. It seems that every time I try and record, she always then, like, she's sleeping on the sofa normally, but that she chooses then to get upset that I'm not with her whenever I'm recording, like not when I'm editing or anything like that. Anyway, but what I'm trying to get to, a lot of you have probably left the video already, but what I'm trying to get to is that trying to start a new Let's Play, and I think I would like, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could submit some sims for me to use in it. So it's kind of like a challenge video, and it's a challenge video that I made up, and I've never seen this. I've seen things maybe vaguely similar, like the asylum challenge is very vaguely similar, but it's quite different, and I don't know, I think I've never seen anything like it personally before, or, you know, very similar, but I don't know how, because of that, I don't know how well it's going to do as a Let's Play. I don't know whether, like, when I've played, like, the whole challenge on my own, and it was I think possibly, maybe there was a glitch in the game that made it like this, but it was hilarious. It was so funny. All the bad stuff that happened. But, yeah, so I don't know whether it's going to be any good, whether that stuff's going to happen again and it's still going to be funny, or, you know, whether people are actually going to want to watch it. But the thing with it is that I don't think I'm very good at Let's Plays. But the only way to get better at Let's Plays is to do Let's Plays. So I feel sometimes like I'm clogging up my channel with bad content when I'm releasing Let's Plays, because I don't think they're that great. You know, if I was proud, like properly proud of them, then maybe I'd feel fine like having them alongside all my builds. But I don't know, I sometimes feel like they're not up to par. But I hope that you guys can be patient with me, and hopefully, because it is a new challenge, that actually you might find it exciting or interesting to watch, or maybe a breath of fresh air in comparison to a lot of the other challenges maybe that you've seen a few times from Simmers. But maybe even it might be something that some of you might want to try yourself in your own games or on your own videos. So yeah, I'm excited to see whether you guys like it or whether it's any good or anything like that. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But the Sims which I would like you guys to make, I'd prefer them to be young adults, but they can be adults or elders if you really want them to. And also, if you put them under the hashtag of TGSim, so like short for The Great Symphony. Going back to the build, so you'll see over on the other side there's a church and another building, and I was going to build that there, and this is another build where I didn't actually plan to begin with, and I'm thinking to myself that maybe I should go back to planning, because I've done quite a few videos recently where I haven't planned, I've just sort of winged it. But I think my videos end up being better quality if I do plan it and almost build it twice, even though I don't have the time to do that. But I should do that anyway, because my builds get better quality if I do that. So you'll see there that I put the church and a building there, and I was going to put that there, but I end up changing it around a bit and move the church to be on a diagonal, because I think it looks better like that. But the church shape is inspired by my parents used to read these magazines about like renovation of houses, and I remember they always used to have these in America where it was old churches which had been renovated into houses. So because of that, that I kind of knew of that style, and when I was looking up sort of Western style things or old churches or whatever, those were the ones which were coming up. So I'm not sure how accurate it is for it to be within this town, but I think it worked quite well. So you'll have to let me know whether it was any good or not. But yeah, we've also got a police station, and in the police station we put like jail cells, and we have like a front office. Also, what I should maybe mention is that my build is more like a residential lot with other things, so more like a community which your Sims might live in. So there is like a shop and a bar and like maybe a woodwork shop, or I'll go into sort of my ideas behind each of the different buildings and who might live in there and that kind of thing in my next video where I'm doing the interior, because that kind of makes more sense. But each of the houses have like their own kitchen, like tiny kitchen and living space and all of that kind of stuff. So it is meant to be more like a town. But Simcash's video is more like a community lot, where it's more like shops and, you know, different things like that. She does really, really cool bank in it. It's really awesome. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea behind it. So maybe you could actually use both. I think hers was on a 50 by 50 lot, and this is a 40 by 30. So if you were playing, you could put both of our lots down, and they could live on my lot and then also go and visit Simcash's lot. I thought that would be quite a cool idea. But anyway, I thought up of that obviously after I'd already finished the video, because I've seen the other one now. But yeah, I've forgotten where I was going with what I was saying. But I think I remember now. So we've got the police station, and yeah, so I've got a shop as well, and that one has like a shop front at the front, and then at the back it's got like the kitchen and living area, and then above it's got 2 bedrooms. But we have one more building on this. We extend the sort of one with the lighter coloured building, the blue and white one. That one has like an extension out the back, but that's going to be like the bar area, and I guess where everyone gathers and socializes. And we're going to have another really tiny building which is next to the police station, and that one is actually like a micro home, but like its own like a Western style micro home, I guess. I'm not too sure about the outer, like the outside of it, in all honesty. I'm actually not too sure on this whole build, whether I'm still in that stage of I'm not really sure if I like it or not. But if you guys think this is crap, please tell me, because then I can learn from that. Obviously don't go, "You're a bunch of poop, Zoe, go away." Say something like, "You could have done this better," because one will make me cry and the other one will make me a better builder. So I guess you can choose which one you'd prefer. Whether you do want me to cry, or you want me to be a better builder, but it's in your hands, guys. But yeah, so I'm not too sure about that little micro home, how it looks from the outside. It looks a little bit weird, and I think I sort of did clashing colours. But I also keep a lot of this quite simple, because although I really wanted to fill it with like tons and tons and tons of detail, I thought that actually it could be unrealistic, especially for like some of the houses, because I don't really know about too much about the culture or the lifestyle that would have been that these people would have lived with or in. But I can only imagine that before proper electricity and all of that kind of stuff, that people would have a lot less belongings and life would have been quite a lot simpler, and they wouldn't have had tons and tons and tons of things. So as much as I did want to sort of go overboard, I did actually keep it quite simple, because I thought that might, be helpful, even though actually having clutter and loads of objects and stuff does make for a pretty build. I wanted to add some sort of realism, because I didn't know how this would actually look in real life. I don't know what they look like, or I've never been to an area of America where they might have something like this, or might have had something like this. So I didn't want to make it too different from what it would have been. But you'll see here I've done sort of an extension, and this was more to fill a space than anything. But I sort of realised that actually if I was making people sort of live in these buildings, that actually there would be I sort of imagined that maybe there would be a family which would live in this one, and that actually there might not be enough space for them to have like a living area and a kitchen, but also the bar and all the bedrooms and all of that kind of stuff. So that's why I did the extension on it, as well as to fill up the space. But you'll see I extend the sort of balcony thing around, and I'm doing stuff with, like, because some of the walls are diagonal, I'm doing things with diagonal roofing. I didn't want this to stick out, because you know how just the slanted roofs, they can sort of stick out over the edges. I didn't want that. I wanted it to be flush with the rest of them. So I had to layer 2 of the ones which are flat on one side and sort of have the peak on the other side. Do not know. I should learn the technical names for these roof styles. But so I put 2 of them sort of facing each other so that it would work like that, but the roof kind of glitched in, and I thought that seeing as I've got another sign on the other side of the building, it kind of makes sense for me to have a sign on that side of the building too. So that's what I did to kind of get around that. But this is that micro home I was talking about, and I didn't think that they would have little houses like this, but when I was doing all my research for to see what the houses were like, there were actually quite a few which had this roofing style, and I've kind of seen it kind of without any of the sort of paint on it, or like wood paneling or flooring or windows or anything like that. It looks like it could be a modern build, which is a bit weird actually. But I hope that I make it, I guess, old-fashioned enough for you, or fit in with this enough. Like I said, it's got some weird colour choices. I don't know whether I actually changed them later on, but it's like green and then like brown, but also blue, but also black. So it is weird, but I kind of imagined that someone quite, I guess, eccentric might live there, and that maybe it was a little shack that had been put together by someone who had been travelling but then had decided to settle. But that's what I thought, that maybe you could have maybe it could even be like, I don't know what kind of person I thought would live there, but maybe someone who, I don't know, actually maybe you guys can figure that out for yourself. But you'll see when I was doing the terrain paint just then, is the way that I get it to look the way that it does, is that I turn it down so it's as soft as it can possibly be, and then instead of like holding it and moving it along, I do little clicks everywhere. And the reason why I do that is because if you try and click and drag, what happens is you just get a patchy line, and in some areas the terrain paint is really, really strong, and in other areas it's got nothing at all, but it doesn't actually really work that well. But when I click lots in different places, it adds like a soft sort of effect to it, and it looks more natural to me at least. And also what you can do is, if you want something to be sort of stronger, you can make it a little bit less soft and make it more hard, and put that on, and then actually put the softness on the rubber right down, or sorry, eraser. Sorry, I forgot. I always forget that means something different in other countries. But put the eraser on and to click and actually soften it that way as well, and that way that you can sort of layer textures maybe. But that's kind of the way that I do it. So if you ever struggle by making things look too harsh and make things not look like they're natural blended in, then that's how I do it. I do have to say though that, you know, like if you were to put this lot onto maybe one which had like grass terrain, like naturally as it is, it does look weird because you get these random orange splotches and it just looks terrible. It happens quite a lot actually when I see my lot put on other lots that it's not really supposed to. Speaking of which, actually, I moved this lot in the end because, as you can see, it's within the more like expensive part of Oasis Springs, because I was trying to find somewhere which I originally was going to go on to the one in the cheapest area, but I remembered that actually I've had troubles in the past because the terrain isn't actually even on that lot, and it tends to muck things up when you're trying to build, and especially with, I guess, like fencing and railing, it has a really terrible time. So I sort of cast that lot out to begin with. But so I built it on this one, and it's got the grass bits on the side that makes it look a little bit more fancy. But seeing as I'd already finished all of the building and I was just going on to like the landscaping, I moved it onto the different lot, and that's where I took my screenshots afterwards as well, because I just thought that it was better on that lot. But I do a little bit more of the terrain paint, but it blends in on both. So whatever lot you like better, you can keep that one and then demolish the other one and place this lot there if that's what you want to do. But yeah, and I didn't really know what plants there would be here, so I've kind of guessed, and I've kind of integrated them in with rocks and stuff like that, and tried to make it so that the grass looks like it's coming out of it, and put lots and lots of cactuses. But yeah, so I had to guess, but I hope that I've made it as accurate as possible. But I'm coming to the end of the build now, so thank you very, very much for watching, and hopefully see you again soon, and for the next part. Bye bye.